Well, storms coming through, trees falling, knocking out the power, knocking out the internet, branch falling off of a tree and hitting my rear view mirror on my driver's side, the side view mirror, breaking the mirror glass, calling Toyota and finding out that it's because it's a heated mirror, even though it didn't do any damage to the moving mechanism, the remote moving mechanism, or any of the other things except the mirror itself. But it's a heated mirror, so it's $85. Called the used parts place, asked what they wanted for it. They wanted $85 for it. I said, I can buy a new one for $85. They said, go ahead. It sounds like a lot of bad things, doesn't it? Our daughter put into quarantine for the virus again because she was exposed to somebody with a D variant at the lunchroom, as she was a school teacher and sitting at the lunchroom with her students and her co-teachers. All sounds like a terrible, terrible bad day until you turn on the internet and you see that what's going on in Afghanistan, what's going on in Haiti. You get emails from churches you've attended and announcing the death of someone. Puts it all back in perspective. Really don't have it that bad. The mirror is replaceable. Found at discount auto parts place, Advanced Auto, I guess it was, for $58 instead of $85. That included the freight. Got the internet back up, as you can see by this video today, so that's taken care of. The guys from Windstream went way above their normal job descriptions and helped not only get the internet back up and running, but also the extender that I have. All in all, I gotta say, when I consider myself against what's going on in Afghanistan and what's going on in Haiti, I'm blessed. And I thank God every day that He's given me the health to be able to make these videos, given me the health to be able to fix things like the mirror on my car instead of having to take it into a body shop. The ability to do those things and the finances available to do them. So I'm blessed and thankful. I told you about a Monday meeting that I have with the Polk Association and different pastors who share different truths. And I remember sharing with you that Peter McDonald from Midway Baptist Church shared a great blessing when he talked about the disciples not being able to cast the demon out of the fellow because they didn't do it through prayer and fasting. I told you that Peter had two parts to that message about that particular devotion. The first part was powerless. The disciples were powerless. And the second part of his message was powerful. And that's because they went to Jesus. They had sense enough to go to Jesus and ask him, why couldn't we do it? And he told them why. And I came up with the conclusion that it could be summarized by, no matter how much we grow spiritually, it doesn't lessen our dependence on him. Shortly after that, the pastor in Five Forks Baptist Church preached a little short sermonette on the internet from the hymnal, I Need Thee Every Hour. And I looked at the words of that beautiful hymn, and it says, I need him for times of comfort. I need him in times of trial. I need him right away. But most of all, I need to understand that I need to be in him and he in me. And I need him not every hour, but every minute, every second. What about you today? Do you need to put things back in perspective by looking at Afghanistan or Haiti? Do you need to look at the fact that there's 18,000 teachers and students in Hillsborough County after just 1 week of school that have the COVID virus? Do you need to look at some of the prayer requests that I've been getting from people around the country and loved ones that they have that have died of the COVID? It doesn't take very much looking around to recognize that not only do we need him every hour, but we need to be thanking him every hour, every minute, and every second because of his grace and his mercy and his kindness. Tomorrow I'm going to try to get us back on track about going through all of the books of the Bible, but I've decided that I've gone backwards as far as I can without really confusing the issue, because now we're back in the historical books, and to go history backwards is really kind of complicated and I think maybe confuse more than it would help. So we're going to start in Genesis tomorrow. We're going to be looking at some passages out of Genesis, and we're going to move through forward in the historical books. I think you'll find that it's interesting, and we'll obviously find a few of the prophets that spoke about the times of 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, and we'll try to marry those together as much as we can, but it's going to be difficult. And I've taken a look at one of those Bibles that tries to do that. I find it very confusing, so I'm going to try not to be as confusing as some of those books. But if you've been having a pity party like I have with all of the troubles of the day, take a look at Afghanistan, take a look at Haiti, take a look at what's going on with COVID around the country, and give thanks to God. And that's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day. And you were dead in your trespasses and sins, in which you formerly walked, according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, of the spirit that is now working in the sons of disobedience. Among them we too all formerly lived in the lusts of the flesh, indulging in the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature children of wrath, even as the rest. But God, being rich in mercy, because of his great love with which he loved us, even when we were dead in our transgressions, made us alive together with Christ. By grace you've been saved, and raised up with him, and seated with him in heavenly places in Christ Jesus, so that in the ages to come he might show the surpassing riches of his grace and kindness toward us in Christ Jesus. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, is a gift of God, not as a result of works, so that no one may boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, so that we might walk in them.